We're here at his humble abode. He's no new face when it comes to politics. His family has had close affiliations when it comes to Indian politics. Well, he's been a former member of the Rajya Sabha. He has donned many hats, right from being a professor of economics to being in the Congress party, doing all the back-end work, being the brainchild behind several of their important projects. And it is a pleasure to have him today on India Today's SoSouth. I am in conversation with Rajeev Gowda, who's contesting from Bangalore North in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections 2024. Such a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you for coming over and interviewing me.
Absolutely, sir. So first and foremost, I have tried to read so much about you, extensively done my homework, but I'm still so curious to find out and ask you that given the fact that you are no new face to politics, you've had your family who's been into it, what made you decide to take the plunge and get into the main field and contest as a candidate?
So I've already had an opportunity to serve in the Rajya Sabha. I've had an opportunity to see Indian politics close up. I've seen my family's contributions to Karnataka, to India in different ways. And so this commitment to public service has been there right from childhood, listening to stories of the freedom movement and my uncle, late Miss M.V. Krishnappa, and my father, late M.V. Venkatappa, their contributions during that period. Those were the inspirations for my subsequent career, education, and now the plunge into politics, into a direct election anyway. The key point is, India is today at a juncture where it's important for everyone who cares about democratic institutions, who cares about, the future of our people, they have to step forward if they have the capacity to. I did have the opportunity to go back to the Rajya Sabha. I basically said, no, this is the time for me to fight from the front. Every seat that we win for the India Alliance, for the Congress party, makes a difference and will help us, form the government. And therefore, I said, this is the time. Let me step up.
So what, or rather how, did this consensus or the decision of contesting from Bangalore North come into the picture? And how did probably the consultation process take place and the talks?
See, I've done a lot of work in Bangalore North. I was born in Bengaluru. I grew up, in my early years were in Bangalore North. I went in Malleshwaram. I went to Cloney Convent School for my early education. So I'm very much, a lot of formative years were spent there. So I have a very good, deep personal connect with Bangalore North. More than that, when you think about the kind of work I've done for the city, metro feeder buses, work on suburban rail, all of this actually already has had an impact on Bangalore North. Because the metro feeder buses, the ones that I pushed through, which have now become a model elsewhere, started from KR Puram to the Silk Board in Bangalore North, That sort of thing. Suburban rail involves Yashwantpur station, Hebbal station, all of these. So my contribution is already there. More than that, if you go to Frasertown, you will see that on Mosque Road, a black spot was something that we fixed. I've done that, that's Pulakeshi Nagar. If you were to go to Hebbal, we fixed another mega black spot in Manorayanapalya, which is very much a part of Hebbal concept. It's like that. If you start looking at where all have I actually done work on the ground, where have I worked with youngsters and tried to bring about change, where do I have a deep personal connect with? Bangalore North is a perfectly appropriate constituency. Along with that, my late uncle, Shri M.V. Krishnappa, represented Bangalore North, then called Hoskote, between 67 and 77. So there are a large number of people here who still recount his contributions. He was the founder of the dairy movement in Karnataka. What Kurian is to Gujarat, my uncle is to Karnataka. So he's created, lakhs and lakhs of livelihoods. So there's deep affection and gratitude towards him. And so that's why we're here.
So what is your take on the fact that, for a person like you who's going to be contesting against Shobha Karandlaje of the BJP in this constituency, do you think that the public somewhere, when it comes to elections, wants to side with a face which has been repeatedly there in this field? Or how has the reaction been to, a person? I would not call you a newcomer because you are not a newcomer in politics. But what is the kind of response thus far that you've got from public?
The response has been very, very positive. I'm very enthused by the response because people are saying, look, we've had not just Shobha, but basically we voted for BJP 4 times in the last 4 Lok Sabha elections. Since then, none of the MPs have even bothered to show up or do any development. The BJP changed their 2-term candidate because of lack of track record. But what do? They send Shobha, who has herself been rejected by her own party workers in Udupi, Chikkamagalur. So basically people are saying, look, these are people who have no connection to our ground realities. These are people who seek votes in the name of somebody else and then certainly don't deliver for us. This election, they argue, people are telling me, is about Rajeev Gowda versus Shobha. It is about who is more appropriate for Bangalore North. People are saying this is the growing part of Bangalore. This is where development needs to be nurtured and harnessed carefully. And this is where we need an educated politician with a track record of achievement, because we know that he's committed and he's clean and he's capable of delivering for us.
So a counter argument to that Shobha Karandlaje has made and come out and said is, she says that, I'm a Hebbal voter. I've been a Hebbal voter. I'm not new to Yashwantpur, so people know me. And, contesting from Bangalore North is not going to be such a difficult task for me, given the fact that you were just highlighting that people over here, as much as they've come and they've responded to you saying that we need this kind of a politician who's aware about our issues. So what would you want to say about her statement?
All I can say is people, where all has she contested from, right? First from Bangalore, then from Yashwantpur, then from Rajajinagar, then from Udupi, Chikkamagalur. So basically people are already asking, where are you going to go next? Okay. So that's the kind of reaction. While for me, people are embracing me as a local. So I don't think that's, while she may think that way, I don't think the reality matches her perception.
Absolutely.